Over the past 2 years, my income had increased enough to buy a house. After paying the monthly bills, I still had enough money left over. My family is known for their sense of humor and have joked with me on more than one occasion. At the last family gathering, I was faced with a surprise. My in-laws, whom I hadn't spoken to in years, urged me to make a connection. I approached them, hoping for the best. As gifts, I purchased many valuable items for them. For the kids, I bought tablets with built-in DVD players. For my dad, brother and uncle, sports souvenirs. For my mom, sister-in-law, and aunt, I chose antiques and appliances. I brought my girlfriend, whose family leaves a lot to be desired, to the gathering, so she was happy to be around my loved ones. Everything went smoothly. I warned the family to refrain from making jokes about us. They promised that everything would go without incident. However, they could not keep their word. We were attacked by various unexpected jokes that were not to our liking. We got through it, but then followed with gifts I didn't realize I had received. I received kitchenware from the dollar store, a pair of horrible holiday socks, and a pink hat, all from my parents. They laughed and filmed me unpacking the useless stuff. One of the gifts was a used car mirror. For my girlfriend, the only gift was a joke spray. I declared enough was enough. The family promised no more jokes. But they weren't just gifts, they were the only gifts we received. I packed up all the gifts I had bought. This startled them and they demanded that I give them back. I told them they hadn't changed and they could say goodbye to those things. We packed everything up and left. The family continued to call and text me, accusing me of being greedy. I refused to return any of the gifts. Edited. As a child, I avoided socializing with my family because I was too serious. I was often seen as the scapegoat instead of my brother, which left me feeling like I was an unwanted child. At times I felt like I was an accidental son to them, unlike my brother. My family members had a peculiar, but to me, unpleasant sense of humor. Living under the same roof with them was like being on a parody show. After years of separation, my parents suddenly seemed changed to me. They acted like they realized their mistakes and apologized sincerely. However, I felt like they were just waiting for me to become less wary. They followed me on social media and, upon learning of my return to the neighborhood 2 years ago, came to my door with flowers. I wasn't ready to reunite with them mentally, but they convinced me otherwise. You're not an idiot. What's wrong with them? A family joke only becomes funny when it's appreciated by everyone involved. You warned them you didn't want to participate in a joke like that. How can it be funny to give your loved one terrible gifts without offering a real gift at the end? It might be funny to your family, but not to you. They just don't get it. You did the right thing by removing yourself from their presence. While adults have little chance of changing, perhaps children will learn a valuable lesson. Despite all this, don't conclude that you need to stop interacting with them. You took the gifts away as a joke, but they failed to realize it. Just when you were ready to give them a second chance, they decided the best way to do it was to disrespect, humiliate you, and attack you. They are either the stupidest or meanest people, probably both. It seems like they may have reconnected with you because of your recent financial success. If that's the case, they were incredibly stupid to annoy you before they got the gifts. I'm sorry, it's not just a joke, it's bullying. You're still a scapegoat for them. They thought they could get you again. They didn't need to keep up the good behavior. The only thing they cared about when you left was the gifts, not your feelings, your humiliation, or your future relationship with them. They only cared about the gifts. They will never change. Next story. My friendship group is struggling because of the current situation. Two of my close friends, 25-year-old Alex and 24-year-old Leah, have recently started dating. Now Leah's pregnant, but Alex is not happy about it. Alex and Leah have always been particularly close, but their relationship has never gone beyond friendship. From the moment Leah informed Alex of her pregnancy, he suggested that she terminate it. She refused and also ignored his request to not tell his family about the baby and soon told them. Some members of our group suspect that Leah used the pregnancy to get Alex to marry her because of his financial situation, as she herself does not have significant means. I initially defended Leah, but after she started openly calling Alex an idiot and saying that her child didn't need a father, only Alex's money, my opinion started to change. Her words left me with an unpleasant aftertaste. I discussed the situation with Charlotte, my best friend and Alex's ex-girlfriend. We both came to the conclusion that Leah may indeed have been motivated by financial interest. Unfortunately, Charlotte shared this information with other friends and Leah soon found out. She stopped communicating with me and now clearly dislikes me. Alex met with me to ask me to leave Leah alone, claiming that she needed the support of her friends, especially now, during her pregnancy. He warned that if anyone else said anything about Leah, I would have to deal with him. Most of our friends now deny ever saying anything bad about Leah. Charlotte, on the other hand, claims that Alex is just trying to look like a hero since all of his family's attention is now on his actions. You shouldn't call Leah your friend unless you truly are one to her. Alex and Leah agree to intimacy, realizing that this is their own business and the need for birth control is their shared responsibility. Alex accepts financial responsibility for the baby. That doesn't mean that Leah seeks to deftly trap him in anything. You didn't communicate with Leah directly, but instead spread rumors. Now you're facing the consequences of your actions, having thought you were the victim. Your friendship group will soon realize that you are not a friend, but merely a gossip spreader. None of your posts prove that Leah is up to something devious. If I got pregnant and the father didn't want the baby, I would be grateful for his financial support. Most people would be happy to have that support, especially if it's the only support they get. Just because the father doesn't want to be a parent doesn't mean they are trying to trap him. Accusing a pregnant friend of something horrible without facts is spreading lies. You shouldn't be spreading gossip, it's none of your business at all. Remember, Alex is consciously doing what he's doing and you shouldn't act like he's a victim. Neither of you will grow up until you stop gossiping about other people's personal lives. Now I want to tell a different story. My parents named me Robin. I'm a teenager. My sister's name is Sky. She's 18 years old. Our grandparents don't like my name. They rarely mention my sister. To them, modern names are a novelty. They prefer classic names. Since I was a child, I was told that Robin was a girl's name. Traditionally, it was more often given to girls. Sometimes my elders tried to convince me to go by my middle name, Alexander. They warned me that the children might mock me. I didn't notice the taunts, and my parents asked my grandparents to stop. We didn't see each other for 4 years when I was in middle school. After I returned, my elders continued to talk about my name. A few months ago, I researched the origin of the name Robin. It turns out that in past centuries, it was more often given to boys. Now the name is suitable for both boys and girls, although it is more common for girls. I printed out the information from the internet and showed my grandparents. They rejected the evidence, claimed that natural names have always been feminine, said I would be mistaken for a girl more often in the future, suggested I start using the name Alexander or choose another masculine name. I suggested they call me Rob if Robin bothered them that much. My sister suggested they think of Robin Williams. They agreed to Rob if that was my real name. They then told me to accept that Robin was a girl's name. I replied that they were wrong to insist on that and ignore the facts. I said the name suited both genders and was tired of their claims that I had a girl's name. My grandparents told my parents about it. They weren't angry with me, but the whole extended family said I should have stayed as calm as I always was. I never knew Robin Hood was a woman. Your grandparents enlightened me. Robin Williams, Robin Gibb, Robin Fat. They're all women, Lord. Your grandparents might be speechless to learn that Batman's friend is a man. Yeah, you weren't paying attention, let alone Robin Hood. But again, we're all missing the big picture and failing to see that they're all girls. Oh, you're not an idiot. I'm sending you love and strength. Your name is beautiful. I know many Robins of both genders. They are all good people. You're a teenager. If someone else was going to bully you because of your name, it would have happened by now, lol. You seem to be fine with it. I guess they didn't get what they expected. It's just more fuel for your fight. Their predictions will never come true. I think you should stop reacting to nonsense from now on. Just walk away, ignore it, or refuse to talk about it. It sounds tiresome. I don't think they will ever really accept it. My next story. My teenage daughter is a student at a new school this year. It's a private school. Their traditions include overnight field trips with the class. They are held every August at the beginning of the school year. She was late this year, but next year we are looking forward to a 2-day trip to Philadelphia. There is one restriction. No more than 6 people can stay in one hotel room. There are now 37 girls in the class who need to be accommodated. We learned that a group of 4 students, 3 girls and 1 boy, will stay together overnight in the same hotel. This is not the way things are usually done at school. The 4 are not popular with their classmates and incidents of bullying have arisen, especially of the boy. However, they maintain a friendly relationship with each other. Their parents have decided to band together to finance and accompany the children on their own. This will help to avoid any problems. They rent 2 rooms, one for the children and one for the parents. They contacted my daughter and suggested that she join them. She would like to do that. I am not comfortable with this. I believe sleepovers in mixed company are inappropriate. We have been discussing this issue for several weeks. The solution is clear. The school has no rooms available for her to stay alone. They do not provide her with a private room. We can't afford to have another independent group. A shared sleepover is not an option. She is devastated and begs me to reconsider. She's convinced it's all my fault. She says I'm the one who forced her to move to a new school. We've moved so many times, this will be the first time in years she's been able to be anywhere. I believe we need to insist on taking the exam. However, my husband is now expressing doubts. He suggests that we consider an exception. He claims that his daughter has been having a hard time lately. This is a serious problem. School traditions are important. Also important is the opportunity for her to make friends. You can't just agree to a sleepover. We're not talking about a boy and a girl here. I'm probably making assumptions. I'm probably wrong. When I was a boy in high school, it didn't bother me. You seem to need a reason not to let your daughter go on a trip. Tell her you just don't want her to go. You didn't register in time. Don't miss the opportunity to sign up so she can participate in next year's group. You were the last to sign up, so they booked the trip without her. Technically, you are a few days late. You missed the deadline to sign up. It's entirely your fault. Now you're punishing your daughter by not letting her go. I don't know what you think might happen during a co-ed sleepover where one boy will be sharing a room with a group of girls. However, have you considered the possibility that your daughter or one of the girls who will be traveling with her might be a lesbian? So, this idea of co-education may seem untenable. It seems like a mistake has been made, but things can still be fixed. Children seem to be overprotected. Instead of 4 adults looking after 37 children, one parent is looking after 4 children. If this is the organizer's main concern, why doesn't he or she offer to accompany the children during the day and stay asleep in the next room at night? It might still seem like overprotective care, but at least it would seem more reasonable. In case the organizer becomes a little more cautious, she may wish to have her daughter sleep in the same room with her. This could prevent a situation where 4 girls would end up in the same room with a boy for the night on a school trip. In that case, you could just as easily lock your daughter in the basement until she comes of age to then find her a suitable groom to marry, allowing her to bear your grandchildren. A story that really surprised me. I dated my boyfriend for 3 years. About 6 months ago, he introduced me to his 3 kids. They are great kids, but they clearly lack established boundaries. It's more of a parenting issue than a personal problem. The children include a young male, a teenage girl, and a young man in his teens. The younger 2 have been diagnosed with ADHD. They hardly ever go outside. 2 months ago, we started having weekend sleepovers. To be honest, it has proven to be a real challenge. The reason for this is a lack of personal space. The kids follow me everywhere. They don't know how to occupy themselves on their own. Even though this is common behavior for kids, I can't blame them. My number 1 rule is that kids should not come into my room. I don't like anyone being in my bedroom. However, despite my requests, on more than one occasion, kids have come into my room and taken up my entire bed. I've mentioned this to my boyfriend that I don't like it, but he doesn't seem to take it seriously in regards to his kids. A few days after our conversation, while we were watching a movie in the evening, all of his kids came into my room and climbed onto my bed. I found myself huddled in the corner of my own room, unable to move. This happens on a regular basis. If we're in the kitchen, the kids are there too. If we go outside, they follow us. However, getting them to go outside without us is impossible. Yesterday was a horrible day. My boyfriend had the kids and I was in dire need of a place to get away from all the chaos. I announced that I was going to the bedroom to be alone with myself. My boyfriend decided to check on me after about 20 minutes, but his kids barged in on me just a couple minutes after that. One of the younger ones even did a somersault on the bed, pushing it away from the wall. I asked them to come out at least 6 times before they finally reacted. My boyfriend claimed that the kids just wanted to be around us. I said that didn't work for me. He offered to make a schedule for the kids' presence in my bedroom, but I refused. He accused me of being unreasonable and said that as a single parent, I should learn to compromise. I am 30 years old, he is 32. My main problem is that the children are in my bedroom. I get along well with them, but that doesn't change the fact that they don't respect my personal space and shouldn't be in my bedroom. We don't live together. He brings the kids to my house every weekend. We've even discussed moving in together. You're not wrong in your feelings, but your problem is more with your boyfriend than your kids. Your boyfriend doesn't respect the boundaries you set. It wouldn't be unreasonable of you to ask that your bedroom remain a kid-free zone, at least for a few hours. Kids should knock and ask permission before entering. These are basic rules of courtesy that they are perfectly capable of mastering as long as your boyfriend is willing to cooperate with you. If your boyfriend doesn't respect your boundaries, it's a sign that he may not be ready to teach his kids to respect them as well. This is your home, not a common place to live. He is right in that compromises will have to be made in a relationship with a man who has children. However, he is not asking you to compromise, he is asking you to completely give up your bedroom as your personal space. If you are not compatible on such a key issue, it may be time to consider breaking up.